With the rise of automation and a changing social climate, some jobs are going bye-bye. Your burger will soon be flipped by a robot. Hopefully one day someone will be able to do these DFF narrations without flubbing every line. At least until the burger robot goes crazy and starts, flipping humans. But is the loss of a job really worth moaning about? After all, jobs have been disappearing for as long as they've existed. A job that's very necessary one day might be completely obsolete the next. And that's why this DFF is about jobs that no longer exist. Ha 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 ha! Today on Deep Fat Fried.
Deep Fat Fried!
Cool. Get rid of all jobs. That's
jobs.
How you know I'm the ultimate fucking labor advocate, because ultimately I want everyone freed from the drudgery of jobs.
Yes. The best thing you can do for labor is end labor.
Yep.
Machine labor. No more jobs, no more work. Are you remember the AntiWork subreddit, Paul?
No. I'm not anti-work
surprised.
yet.
Oh, okay. It's all about what you just said, though. They want an end to it. They want to fucking wrap it up. Like, now, let's machine do all this bullshit. Humans don't need to bother with this nonsense any goddamn more. We should be free to pursue our own interests, like in the Star Trek universe. How dare you cough during my episode, Scotty? I can think of one job that's not going to exist for too much longer. You keep coughing during my episode, Scotty. You know what I'm saying, Scotty?
No, I don't get it.
You know what I'm saying there, Scotty boy?
I just said I didn't.
Little Scotty boy.
Got a problem with TJ?
Oh, hey, Scotty boy.
What's your problem, TJ?
Anyway. Baked potato sellers. That no longer exists.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't go down the street and see like, baked potatoes, get your baked potatoes, yeah? But
I mean, you kind of do. There's like, they make
sort of.
There's like fast foody type of places that have baked potato.
This is a guy that's just selling potatoes, like the same way you might see a dude selling like hot dogs or something. This is just like a baked potato cart.
You know what? There's a guy, there's guys around here that fucking sell like fruit, and they sell like boiled peanuts and shit on the side of the road.
Right. They don't sell fucking baked potatoes.
I'm pretty sure I've seen one of those guys selling baked potatoes.
No, you fucking
yes,
have
I fucking have. This episode's fucking wrong already, dude.
All right, even if someone out there is selling a fucking baked potato,
someone is.
This is not a fucking job anymore. There's not the baked potato seller the same way there's like the hot dog vendor or the pretzel vendor.
Nice try. Almost extinct jobs.
The owner of the owner of the new New York City chain that's exploding in popularity, Potatopia, TJ, and that's not a joke.
Potatopia?
Yep.
There ain't no goddamn Potatopia.
TJ, Wendy's also sells baked potatoes. So how you saying there's no baked potato sellers, dude? You're a liar, TJ.
All right, I'm looking up Potatopia.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
NYC.
Build your potato.
Serves nothing but potatoes.
What, TJ? Build.
All right, fine.
You're a lying son of a bitch, dude.
So I guess that at Potatopia in New York City, there's a fucking potato seller.
Thank you.
But whatever. So baked potato sellers began selling their wares around the late 1830s. The first potato sellers sold potatoes roasted as chestnuts, but only on a small scale. Potato sellers were said to be broken down tradesmen, and around the same time that Madame Tussaud established her Chamber of Horrors in the mid-1840s, these sellers became a regular item on London streets. In fact, there were no fewer than 300 individuals engaged in the street trade of baked potatoes. You could easily find the hot potato seller by his cry. What is this? Hot, hot, all hot, mealy and floury, hot, hot, hot. Use your regular Hirash fruit, but plenty of butter and salt, all hot, hot, hot.
Jesus. I would just be like, what the fuck are you selling me, bro? Like, what does that even mean?
Get away from me!
Can you just tell me what it is you're selling? Why are you just describing it? Say it's a potato at some point in there.
Yeah, I know, right? After the Irish potato famine, it was cheaper by the 1860s to sell French Regent potatoes because these potatoes were cheaper than the Irish or English potatoes. In a way, it was surprising that anything French would be associated with a potato because at one point, potatoes in France were viewed as hog feed. And it hadn't been for Antoine Augustin Parmentier, the potato would never have been popular in France. French Regent potatoes were a large-sized fruit, about 2 or 3 to the pound. These roasted potatoes that were sold on the streets were often different from potatoes people ate at home because they did not shrivel when baking and were rough-skinned, the mealiest and not waxy. So there you go. After the Irish potato famine, they started selling these French Regent potatoes that were formerly just like considered shit potatoes that are fed to your hogs.
Damn.
But I guess after they realized they could sell them to fucking idiots on the streets of London, they're like, we can make money off these potatoes. They don't shrink or nothing.
Oh, they do it all the
Tastes
time.
like fucking dirt, but hey,
Dude, there's like a milk lobby and a cheese lobby where they sell you more products of cheese. Like squid became calamari, so they could sell more of that shit. You know, it's like they do this all the time. It's like, oh, what's available? Okay, people will fucking get the pigs to eat the slop, and people do it.
Luckily, there's not like modern examples of human beings being tricked into eating hog slop. You know what I mean?
No,
yeah, dude, we're over that shit now.
Yeah, like the double
Obviously.
down, and shit like that. No.
You guys. So this guy's job, you're gonna love the name of it. It's not what it sounds like, but you're gonna love the name.
He's not a chimney sweep, TJ.
No, this guy is a knocker upper.
Oh damn!
Oh
Whoa.
yes.
I mean, that sounds like a fun job.
He's a knocker upper. Watch your be careful. Keep your wife safe. The knocker uppers in the neighborhood.
Lock up your daughters. It's the
You don't want to be
knocker-upper.
raising his fucking kid, you cuck. Keep the knocker upper away.
Is that the cuck signal there? He like knocks on the window, like time to cuck your husband.
He knocks,
Is it
and then if
time?
the woman it comes to the window, he's like, "Hey, your husband now, I'm the knocker upper." And she's like, "No, he's not. Come on up."
So what does
All
he
right,
do? Does he just like clean the fucking gutters or whatever?
Nope. This guy is basically an alarm clock. A knocker-upper was a professional in Britain and Ireland during the Industrial Revolution when alarm clocks were neither cheap nor reliable. A knocker-upper's job was to wake up sleeping people so they could get to work on time. Some would tap on the window until the sleeper confirmed to be awake, while others would knock a couple times and just hope for the best. The knocker would use normally like a big, he just has a big long stick. There's a dude that has a giant stick that comes up to your bedroom window and goes, "Hey, wake up, you! Time to go to work at your miserable fucking factory job, you fucking piece of shit." And then, you wake up and you go. He's your alarm clock.
Could you yell down like snooze 15 minutes?
No, you sure couldn't because he has a
No.
route. He's gone. He's
Fuck,
on.
dude.
He's on to the next one. Maybe if you
Yeah.
tossed him a shilling or something.
Yeah. Bing! Snooze 15 minutes, you bastard.
Some knocker-uppers would use pea shooters. And she just she just shoots a fucking little fucking rock at your goddamn window. They were mainly documented in East London. In return for their labor, knocker-uppers were normally paid a few pence a week. The job was usually performed by elderly men and women, while police constables also performed the job to make extra cash while on duty. So basically, like a cop making his rounds would be like, "Hey, you want me to not be a knocker-upper for you?" And, you get a little extra money on that, just making your rounds, knocking on some windows, like, "Wake up." Imagine it being the cop's job to fucking knock on your door and wake you up.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I can't imagine to waking up to any. Dude, I would be such an irritable fuck. I would eventually kill my knocker upper for no
Yeah.
good reason either.
they just find the knocker upper like fucking dead in the ditch with their fucking pole up their ass. Like, uh-oh,
Dude,
Paul
this
got a little cranky.
This is really interesting because I never really thought of this. Like, how did people make sure they got up in time for work and shit?
Well, this is one of the ways. They had a literal person that would go around the town doing
How
this.
did the knocker upper? Who knocked up for the knocker upper?
I mean, I assume that maybe they just like
They probably-
stayed up or had weird
Well,
hours.
they're old people, so they don't need to sleep as much. So most of these people probably only slept a few hours and then just had a route. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
but what
wake
if you
people up.
fucking like? What if you like just like caught a few more Z's than you thought you would? You know what I mean?
feel like if the knocker upper didn't like, if I'm sure it probably happens sometimes, like the knocker upper never fucking showed up. But like, if that happened a few times, you'd probably fucking be like, this person's not a reliable knocker upper. I'm gonna get a better one. You know?
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck this.
Not to mention how many times someone was like, "Oh yeah, I'm awake. I'm awake."
I mean, that's on them at that point.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Knocker needs to say, make sure my ass is actually awake.
They ain't got time. They're on to the next fucking person.
Well, you know what?
They got a lot of people to wake up.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Once alarm clocks became reliable around the 40s and 50s, the job began to die out, although some continued to still perform the task until the 70s in some pockets of England. So people were doing this up to the fucking 19 goddamn 70s. Star Wars came out in the fucking 70s, dude. There's fucking Star Wars is in theaters and someone is still being woken up by like,
I mean,
Dude, it's old people.
I assume at that point, like it had turned into like a little charitable thing to support the last few old people that had to do this before it, you know, because like,
okay, old man,
70s,
Willie, you're the best, buddy.
they had those wind up clocks and shit. They had everything they needed to get up, you know, it was super cheap. So there's no way you needed to pay a knocker upper in the fucking 70s. Probably
Yeah, that's the way to help
just a way
somebody.
of passing along the subsidization of these old people's lives to the fucking community. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
Like, we got to pay old Gretchen, the knocker upper.
The next thing I want to talk about is Tosh's London sewer hunters.
Ugh.
Sewer hunters, bro? Gross.
Yeah.
What do they do?
London sewer hunters, often called toshers, were those people that ignored roguish odors to descend into London sewers and scavenge, pan, and retrieve tosh, which was the term for copper. During the 1800s, the term tosher gained a much wider application than it does today. These long ago toshers also searched dumps, scavenged at the mouth of sewers, and worked the Thames shoreline. Amazing as it may sound, toshers thought of themselves as a step or two above mudlarks, people who scavenge the Thames for coal, wood, and rope, because toshers scavenge for money, silver, or gold. According to Henry Mayhew, author of the multi-volume London Labour and the London Poor, toshers made a good living, earning up about 6 shillings a day, which places them among the top earners of London's working class during the Victorian era.
Damn.
And was enough for the 1 shilling entrance fee at Madame Tussauds wax exhibition on Baker Street in the 1840s for the additional 6D required for entrance into her chamber of horrors. So there you go. These people would basically, they'd roam around the fucking sewer looking for money. Because I guess there was money in them. There was money. There's gold up in them there shits.
I mean, well, everyone had to use cash. You know, someone's going to drop the shit in the sewer. They'll be like, I dropped it in the sewer.
damn it. Drop my 8 penny in the sewer, I done.
Well, people lose a lot of shit. You know, it's kind of crazy that you can have jobs just sent around people being like forgetful or lazy or dumb or just like, oh shit, money fell in the sewer. whatever. Drop into a gutter.
The
Some assholes come along.
the groom of the stool, dude.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, that's another job that's fucking gone, unfortunately.
Sad.
There were many dangers in the London sewer for sewer hunters. They had to circumvent crumbling brickwork and earth that often threatened to bury them alive if merely touched. Toshers, who nicknamed themselves shoremen or shore workers, could also get lost in the maze-like sewer system if they wandered too far from the main branches. This was because sewer lines crossed and recrossed in unrecognizable fashion.
This is one of the worst fucking things that a human being's ever had to do to make a living. It's like, oh my God, is that a fucking penny? No, wait, it's just a turd. Oh, is that $1? No, just another turd.
What the fuck?
You know, it's one of the highest paying jobs for like the working class in London too. So like these guys,
Toshers, dude.
these guys are making more than the average bloke on the fucking street doing this shit.
Yeah, because they're basically facing like death every day. Like they touch some part of the fucking sewer, it crumbles and kills them.
Listen to this.
Disease.
Listen to this horrible fact. Moreover, sometimes torrents of water were allowed to rush through the sewer system when sluices were lifted, and unaware they could be swept away or placed in extreme peril. Another danger that existed were large pockets of noxious fumes or foul air. When these fumes or foul air accumulated, it could cause instant death if accidentally breathed. So you could be swept away in a torrent of shit water. You could breathe in fucking noxious shit fumes that kill you instantly. You could be crushed in a landslide. You could be lost in a maze of human fucking waste. Additionally, Toshers faced insatiable swarms of rats.
Oh, God!
And for that reason, they often scavenged in gangs of 3
You,
or
like,
4
beat
people.
back the rat army. Oh, back! Oh, shit, don't touch that up! Oh, don't breathe that up! It's like, oh, no, a rush of water! It's like, this sounds like a death maze! It sounds like a fucking death maze!
They need to make a fucking video game based on this.
Toshers, dude.
Yeah,
There's just like a
Toshers.
horror movie called Tosher, and it just follows a
Get
dude.
down in the fucking sewer and see if you can find you a shilling.
Oh, my God!
What a
What's down there?
Death.
Death. But maybe a shilling or 2.
ravenous
All right.
rats, shillings, poison gas, turds, shillings, cholera, and more shillings, mate.
There were other problems for the London sewer hunters. Numerous tales exist about London's rats living there, and supposedly when they were driven into corners, they would fly at the intruder's face and legs in hundreds. The lengths Toshers went to defending themselves against the vermin was a common theme. Richard Rowe published a story about a sewer hunter named Ollie Pippin, who, according to Rowe, Ollie Pippin dealt with rats and claimed they pulled men down and worried them and picked their bones as clean as a washed plate. Mayhew interviewed one sewer hunter who maintained, "I've seen as many as 100 rats at once, and they're whoppers in the sewers. They'd think of tackling a man. Do you recollect hearing on the man as was found in the sewers about 12 years ago? The rats eat every bit of him and leave nothing but his bones."
Dude, all right, you know what I'm calling? Like, I think these rats are probably like a pain in the ass. This is a way to rid yourself of competition.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's like, you know what the rats are going to do if you go in the sewer? Oh, you don't even want to know. They're gonna, like, remember that guy that died like 12 years ago? Rats got him.
Yeah, ate every fucking shred of him.
Ate him to the bone.
You need to keep out of the sewers and keep
It's like,
away
come
from my
on.
sewer shillings, lest the rats get you, you some bitch.
I don't know what the heck that was.
Anyway, yeah, this is a fun job. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably wish this still existed so you could do it yourself.
Sad. I'd be doing it right now.
Here's another job that doesn't really exist anymore. Doing blackface at the old minstrel show.
I mean, I guess people still try to do this, but not as a job.
Yeah, I mean,
Just foolishly to
now it's more of a like, I just feel like never being able to have a legitimate job again or anything. I'm just going to do this blackface.
let's just do a search for you. Okay, yeah, yes, you in blackface. Ooh, wow. Okay, well, have a nice day. Well, unless you're Justin Trudeau, he still has a job.
So I'll read a little bit of it. This is a huge article, but I'll read a little about the history of the minstrel show here. In 1842, the songwriter Daniel Decatur Emmett and 3 companions devised a program of singing and dancing in blackface to the accompaniment of bone castanets, fiddle, banjo, and tambourine, calling themselves the Virginia Minstrels. They made their first public appearance in February 1843 in New York City Theater. The show was so popular that many imitators emerged, while the demand for minstrel shows quickly became insatiable. In 1844, only 1 year after the first performance of the Virginia Minstrels, a blackface minstrel troupe called the Ethiopian Serenaders played at the White House for the especial amusement of the President of the United States, his family, and his friends. So, yeah, this basically
Widely
became
accepted, yeah.
this basically became the fucking craze that swept the nation, the minstrel show, where, you know, white dudes would dress up as black dudes and paint their faces black and do like this like ridiculous racist fucking caricature of like black people. Just imagine like the movie Friday if everyone was played by a white dude who painted their face brown, you know? And then you pretty much have it.
I just like, this has always been a tough one for me to like get in the headspace of like, why would this be more.
Yeah, I noticed that during our racist ads episode too. You kind of like are perplexed by the like cutesy affinity based racism.
Yeah, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because like this is clearly like racist and undercutting like, you know, these people's worth and shit, but it's not like done in a I don't know, man. It literally makes no sense to me. I would be able to tell the difference between a black dude and like a white dude with his face painted all up black and shit. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would people want to see that?
Well, here you go. Let's see.
Let that be a lesson to you.
What's the matter with you boys shooting up that man's hen house?
I'll shoot any chicken trying to follow me home.
Well, why don't you get a job and go to work?
You almost had me a job this morning.
Where?
There you go. I don't know.
I mean, you can. Well, it's basically just it's just playing up to a crowd that just already believes these things, and it's just reinforcing these
I
stereotypes.
feel like the sad thing about this is I still see this happening today. They just get actual black people to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
This
see it a lot.
became like the fucking Martin Lawrence or
TJ
Kevin
stealing,
Hart or whatever.
TJ stealing another Paul fucking quote right there, dude.
I'm sorry.
Oh shit!
Yep, dude. During that fucking episode where we covered goddamn Uncle Buck show, I said the greatest fucking trick that was ever played was that fucking we didn't stop minstrelsy. We just convinced black people to do it for us, TJ. You assimilated me, you bastard.
That's what I do. I just absorb. I just fucking
all the TJ.
I go around. I have
your shields.
I have no actual personality inside. It's just like a blank slate. So I just fucking find others and just like
There's just emptiness inside of me, and so I just have
that's why I was like, I consume. Give me your essence, Paul. People are like, Paul's saltier and saltier lately. It's like, yeah, because I've stolen so much of his essence. The longer my beard becomes, the more of Paul's essence has been stolen.
You can only borrow my essence, TJ. I only lend it.
Remember when I made that very original observation that they just duped the black people into doing the minstrelsy against themselves? Remember when I observed that?
I do.
History will be rewritten, Paul.
If you go
though.
back to the Uncle Buck episode, you will now
That
see
never
that it was
happened.
I who said that, Paul.
TJ said it. It is now reality.
You're right. I do remember you saying that. So, yeah.
Sure.
I went down to the post office and asked that man, could he let me have one of them jobs as a letter toter?
No, Cotton, you mean?
Anyway, yeah, I don't really get it either.
I mean, I think it's kind of sad that this went on into the days of film. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah. It was a long-standing fucking tradition. But yeah, this job no longer exists. This is not something that you're going to find gainful employment doing at this point in history. Now, this next job, much like the potato seller, I guess, is not like a completely extinct job, but it was once far more common than it is today. This is the job of the cigarette girl. Now, you will still see these in like Vegas, but they used to be like everywhere.
Coffee, tea, drinks, cigarette.
A cigarette girl is a person who sells or provides cigarettes from a tray held by a neck strap. Cigarette girls became common in the 1920s, were a staple of nightclubs, supper clubs, airports, movie theaters, music halls, and speakeasies, which were illicit establishments that sold booze. Aside from cigarettes, they would also sell cigars, candy, snacks, chewing gum, and depending on the establishment, maybe a little reefer, too.
I would have bought that.
So cigarette girls would sometimes be employed to flirt with patrons as well. Sometimes they would even leave with the patrons to have consensual sex in hopes of getting very large tips from wealthy businessmen. Basically just like soft prostitution.
Yeah.
Sure.
With the repeal of prohibition in 1933, some cigarette girls moved across America in order to find employment in more popular destinations. The job remained popular in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Horny men returning from World War II with cash in their pockets were big money makers for the cigarette girl crowd.
So many people smoked at that time too.
Right. And, you know, they got all these fucking guys. I mean, America's in like serious economic fucking upturn at that point. You got all these dudes coming back from the war and they got money to spend because they haven't been able to spend money. They've been out there fighting the war and shit. Now they're back home with some money in their pockets. What do they want? They want some cigarettes served to them by a chick with big old titties.
Can't blame them.
So with the rise of cigarette machines in the 1950s, though, America became a little bit more puritanical in regard to sex. So, as America became more puritanical about sex, the cigarette girl became sort of like that's garish. We don't want that anymore. So now what used to be served to you by a smiling girl with fucking a nice rack is now served to you by this fucking cold, unfeeling, personality-less machine that's just like...
They could have at least put some titties on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or at least like put a cigarette girl on the logo or something. But like I said, America got real puritanical about that sex shit around this time. We're just like, no, sex is bad.
Popular when I was a kid, but I've slowly seen them fade away. It's like,
I can't. When's the last time you saw a fucking cigarette machine?
There's some bars I've been to that sell them, but they don't look like this anymore. They're just like regular vending machines.
I think I saw some in Vegas last time I was in Vegas.
Yeah, there's usually a few.
They have the regular vending machines in Vegas, but there's an old one like this in the Denny's when I was growing up, but I haven't seen them since then.
So you can still find the cigarette girl in Vegas. You will find them going around if you're at certain casinos playing the slots or playing the roulette machine or whatever. A cigarette girl might come around.
And you're supposed to tip them, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to give them a tip.
It's like, man, fucking what a racket.
And the cigarettes, the upcharge for cigarettes in Las Vegas is already insane. So you're probably going to be spending like fucking basically like $25 for a fucking pack of cigarettes.
Oh
all
my
said and done.
God. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Because you're going to spend like $15. You're going to spend like $15-$20 on the cigarettes, depending on your brand. And then you're going to spend at least another $5 or $10 on the fucking tip. So
that's insane. Have you ever actually used one in Vegas? Because I know you've been to Vegas.
I was playing roulette and I was chain smoking and I ran out of cigarettes and the cigarette girl came around. She's like, cigarettes? I'm like, you got this? And she's like, I got this. I'm like, that's good enough. And I bought some cigarettes off her.
$25, huh?
I would say it's probably $20 or something like that. Yeah.
God. That pains me. This year you spent that much money on cigarettes.
Yeah. But I was winning at the roulette wheel, so
yeah, you felt generous.
It didn't really feel like
it's like, yeah, give me some cigarettes.
Money was fucking pouring in. So.
Well, no one wants to leave. That's the thing about Vegas, dude. You can have, if you're on a roll, like you can have anything brought to you. You want to eat at the table, whatever.
The insidious thing about fucking about gambling is that if you're on a winning streak, you're like, I'm just gonna keep on winning. But if you're in a losing streak, you're like, I gotta fucking find a win to get out of this hole. So
I'll leave as soon as I'm up.
Then it's like, oh no, the hole keeps going down. Holy shit, no! But whatever.
That's gambling for you.
Can you get a cigarette Twink?
I think the time might be now. We just heard. I mean, Twinks are more popular than ever, and cigarette consumption is going back up.
How about femboy cigarette girls?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, you can diversify it. I mean,
cigarette femboys coming around. We got cigarettes, we got weed, we got shrooms.
I love it, dude. We need to bring it back.
Like, all right, fair enough. How about the gong farmer? This is also known as the shit collector.
Hey, someone's got to do it.
The nocturnal poop collectors of Tudor-era England spent their time knee-deep in cesspits full of human excrement. On moonlit nights during the Tudor period of Wales and England, darkened silhouettes would toil below the castle. They were the nightmen, digging and scraping near the walls before shuffling into the distance. By name, they were the gong farmers. By trade, they were removing human excrement from castle cesspits. So yeah, obviously, the royals didn't want all their shit to just like accumulate under their little castles and keeps and stuff. So they had to have someone come along and remove the excrement every now and then.
I mean, this job kind of exists. It's been changed.
Gong was the Old English for both fecal matter and medieval toilet repository itself. Gong farmers were to work only at night. They emptied a castle's collective cesspit every 2 years, but also accepted payment for individual privies as well. They toiled for 2 shillings per ton, centuries before indoor plumbing arrived. Wow. In order to properly appreciate a gong farmer's line of work, and understanding of his instruments is crucial. While only a bucket and able-bodied colleague were needed, some nightmen required a carriage. After all, their task was carrying tons of waste to the town boundary, with the distance varying in each case. Medieval Europe had morphed into a disjointed collection of feudal territories as a result of the fall of Rome in 467 AD. Most were satisfied to survive on the land, while more fortunate lived in castles with toilets scattered about. Understanding the mechanisms of a medieval toilet was naturally vital to for the Gong farmer. Since the flushing toilet wouldn't be invented until 1596 and only become somewhat standardized in 1851, the medieval toilet was a rudimentary design that used gravity to its benefit, with a circular opening built into the stone castle stone and a wooden bench atop. The medieval garter robe was similar to an outhouse. So basically, they would shit down this little fucking hole. It would be carried down to a fucking cesspit somewhere. And every 2 years or so, the cesspits would have to be emptied. And that was this job. So they take the shit there. Bloop, bloop, bloop. They got to come here. They got to fucking empty out the pit and load it up in their carriage and drive it to the outskirts of town.
Oh man, it's old poop too. It's like the fucking, the nobleman's literally taking his shit. You're like literally clearing it out. And it's like,
it's extra ripe down there, dude. Extra ripe.
I mean, bugs and shit. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, there would have been like cockroaches everywhere.
His job is to go in that fucking nasty, maggoty, fucking roachy
2 shillings a ton
shit with his fucking big wooden shovel and scoop it into that little bucket. Every time the bucket is full, you got to wander off, throw the bucket of shit in the carriage.
If you don't live on a sewer system, you have a septic tank. So people still do this, but they just pump it out now.
Maybe the people that did this job back in the day, maybe they were like the first scat fetishists,
That's true. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they were like, this is job. I love this fucking job I do.
Oh my god, no shit is as good as royal shit, man. They eat the best food. Oh, it's
you see this here? This is the king's fucking shit pot right here. This shit came from the king.
It's royal shit.
Yeah, he goes into town. He's like, I've got the king's shit. You can rub it on your wounds for a penny. It'll cure what ails you.
$90. As historical records from the 15th century show, 2 shillings or $90 a day were standard. That's not, so I mean, you got $90 to go clear out some shit.
It's a specialized profession,
I mean, yeah, a lot of people are probably just not going to work in that field just based on the fact you're just dealing with piles of human shit every day.
So yeah, those are jobs that for whatever reason, don't exist anymore.
I can't imagine why.
There's lots of there's obviously a shit ton, no fucking pun intended, of jobs like this out there. So if you liked it, let us know. And if you liked it, recommend it to your friends, your family, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, whoever the fuck.
Show your dog.
Show it to your dog. Show your animals. You got a fucking hamster. Turn this fucking video on. Put your fucking phone in there. It's like a big screen TV for your hamster to watch Deep Fat Fried. There you go.
Hi, everyone. It's your old pal Mickey here with a direct order. I mean, an option that you are strongly encouraged to take advantage of. You will click the link below. You will subscribe to the Pessimist Productions Patreon. I mean, if you wanna, wink wink, there's more content there than, well, you could swing a dead toddler at. Exclusive shows, exclusive streams, hours of exclusive content. Why aren't you clicking? Why aren't you subscribing to the Pessimist Productions Patreon? You're making Mickey sad.
Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried.